with Chestnut.
All right, and we're here. This is the Run with Chestnut podcast, and we're joined by Simon. What's up, Simon?
Not much. How's it going?
Well, this is the first time you're on with video.
I know.
This is exciting.
It is exciting.
We've had, 70 some odd episodes, all audio, because,
Yes.
Blind people and setting up video cameras.
Quite tricky,
Not the best.
but we did it.
We did it. I figured it'd be smart to, start including a little video aspect, mostly because I honestly wanted it on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I hate the idea of having like static
Audio.
art on just a video.
Yes.
So now we have video.
Yep.
And here we are. So people can see you.
Yep, they
You
can.
might not see them, but they can see you.
I know.
Today's episode, I wanted to talk about assistive technology because we've been talking about assistive technology for a while. It's come up in different forums. We were at a recruiting fair at the NYPL library last week or whatever.
Yep.
We were talking about different types of assistive tech, 3D printing, tactile graphics, all that stuff.
Yes.
And there's been a few people at the workouts who've been asking just like, I guess, basic questions that you and I both know, but maybe the everyday person doesn't know.
Oh,
like,
really?
Is there a way to make a map that you can feel the New York City Marathon route? Like, does that exist? And it's, and you start getting into tactile graphics with embossing and so I figured let's have a little chat about you and assistive technology, what it is and how you got into it and all that. And that's the main idea.
Yeah.
How long have you been involved with assistive technology as your profession?
2 years.
2 years. Okay. 2 years, like recently, right?
Yes.
And I say as your profession because obviously, us as blind people, we do assistive tech on the daily.
Right.
But you started teaching it
I did.
2 years ago.
Yes.
What got you into teaching it? Like why teach assistive tech?
Okay. Well, so originally I got my master's. I got my degree in music education. I thought I was going to go teach music.
Where'd you do that degree?
Hunter College.
Okay. And you liked it? Was it hard?
I liked going through the process. I then realized, I managed. Yes, there were some challenges, especially when it came to making music accessible, Braille music. But luckily, thanks to the FMDG Music School, it all worked out. I got my degree, but I realized, that the DOE wasn't exactly for me. And so I'm like, I could still teach. And while I was looking for a job, Andrew, who we've had on the show.
Yep. Our third roommate.
Yeah, our third roommate. He had been interning there.
Where?
At the Andrew Heiskell Library, where I currently work. And his boss, who is now my boss, Chancey Fleet, was looking for a part-time employee year-round. And he referred me, and he told me about it too. And I'm like, oh, assistive technology. I never really thought about that as a career. That's actually interesting. I use it every day. And I'm like, I could definitely teach this. This sounds really cool. And so I went in, I interviewed, and then I got the job.
All right. So I want to plug something real quick. So you mentioned FMDG Music School.
Yes.
They are, as far as I know, and maybe different, they are the only music school in the country.
Yes.
Specifically for
blind people that are blind.
Yeah, people who are blind and low vision.
Yes.
And so they actually, right, they're especially, the last few years, I feel like they've expanded so much more in terms of helping students in colleges get accessible materials and things like that, right?
That and preparing students to go to college, like drilling music theory and Braille music and sight reading and all that stuff. So
they helped you, right, to get your master's?
Yes.
Yeah,
they did. Because I needed a lot of tutoring with music theory, because a lot of the times the professors, they'd write stuff on the board and they were good.
We don't see the board.
Yeah, I don't see the board. And when it came to assignments, there needed to be a quick turnaround. So I had to sit with one of my teachers, Jennifer, and we would do the music theory assignments.
We should probably do another episode.
We should.
On accessible music. Maybe have
Leslie
someone on or something. But
someone, one of them.
Okay, so you 2 years ago decided, as to Andrew's, who was an intern there, his recommendation or his suggestion.
Yeah.
You interviewed at the Andrew Heiskell Library.
Yep.
Which for those that don't know, it is an NYPL branch, right?
It is.
Okay. Is it the only like Braille branch?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's called the Andrew Heiskell Braille and Talking Book Library.
Back when books talked. Do you remember those green tapes
yes.
they used to get in the middle? Where is that from? That's not Andrew. That's NLS?
Well, so Andrew Heiskell does sell them. I mean, not sell them, send them.
Yeah.
But yes, it's all through the National Library Service for the Blind and Physically Handicapped, which is part of the Library of Congress.
Interesting. Okay. When we were younger, the way we would get library books, instead of, checking out a library book like someone normally would, we would call the
Andrew Heiskell Library.
Is that how you would? I don't remember. I think I did it by mail.
Well, yeah.
I checked, like my mom when I was like in elementary school would check off this thing in the mail.
So you can do two things. You can call the Andrew Heiskell Library, and if they had their books in their branch that you wanted, they'd send it to you, because they also do have a recording studio up on the
oh, really?
Yeah.
What do they record? Their audiobooks?
Yeah. They have volunteers that record audiobooks. However, if they don't have the book, then they'll get it through NLS.
National Library Service.
Library Service. Yes. And you can also call NLS direct. Well, I called NLS directly for my music books.
So so there's a recording. I didn't know this. There's a recording studio in Andrew Heiskell, and you say they make audiobooks.
Yes.
I feel like most, if not all, newly published books these days have audiobooks.
Yes.
For them. So what are they recording? Are these like old books that don't have audiobooks?
They can be, and we don't get all of our books via commercial audiobooks due to like publishing and
okay. Can money. If there's an old book that does not have an audiobook,
yes.
Can you like request it that the library like creates or records an audiobook version?
I don't.
You don't know. You gotta find out.
Yeah, I gotta find out.
That might be interesting. I mean, I'm sure there's like old books that, okay,
probably
something to dig into.
Yeah.
Okay. Before you started working in assistive tech, what did you think the job would be?
Actually, I thought it would be exactly what I thought it was. But there are aspects of it that I did not know were going to be there.
Like what?
Which was good. Like, I didn't realize I'd be learning a lot about tactile graphics, which I really appreciated. I mean, I guess that's the main thing, the tactile graphics portion.
What's like an average day look like for you as an assistive tech instructor?
So
Instructor. Okay.
Yeah. So I'd go into work, look at my calendar, because we have all our patrons come in via appointment. So
again,
patrons
what are patrons?
Patrons are people that come to the library for our services.
Okay.
So
that's funny you call them patrons.
Yeah.
I feel like you'd call them like clients or something, or not clients, because they're clients implies paying, right?
Yeah. So yeah.
You're students or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But no, we call them patrons.
Okay.
So I check my calendar, like, I have this person for iOS at 10 o'clock. I'd get ready for them when they come in. So we have different people who would want to work on different levels of skill, right? So if a person wants to work, they've never used an iPhone, it's my job to orient them to the iPhone with voiceover. Or rather, a lot of them have used an iPhone, but they became blind and then they haven't used it because they didn't know about voiceover. For those of you that don't know, voiceover is the screen reader that is on our Macs and our phones.
I remember when back in the day, I mean, Apple was the only computer company that had free screen reading software.
Yes.
Right. Windows, you had to buy JAWS, which how much is JAWS?
Like
$800, $1,000.
Yeah, like it was like $2,000.
Not the most accessible.
No.
Now there's a thing called Windows Navigator, right?
Narrator,
and that's a free
Windows Narrator.
Right.
Yes, that's free, and then you can also there's NVDA, which is free, but you have to install that. However, Windows does come with Narrator now.
So all of these these lessons that you're giving these patrons, it's all free.
It is all free. Yes.
That's kind of incredible. I mean, the fact that someone who's blind, I mean, we're thinking of an athlete in particular,
right?
Who, they can literally show up to the library and say, hey, I'm a senior, whatever, I'm going blind. I need to know how to use my iPhone. How do I do this? And you'll meet with them weekly, right?
Yes.
They can make appointments. You'll meet with them weekly and literally teach them how to turn on the screen reading software.
How to navigate. how to navigate, everything.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. I mean, what are most of your student or your patrons? Are they like younger people, older?
It's a mixed bag. I'd say a lot of the times it might be a little older, and it might be people that recently went blind or maybe not recently. And so some people might just say, hey, I have this issue with voiceover. How do I fix it? Can you please take a look at my phone? And then I do. So that's one example. Another example is I'm in college. How do I use Google Docs, or how do I use numbers or sheets on Windows?
Okay, so you'll get like younger,
yeah, I'll get younger
blind or low vision people
as well.
Okay, and you'll teach them like more advanced things.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so is the majority of patrons that you get interested in learning something about, you know, a piece of technology that they have, like a phone or a computer?
Yes.
Or okay.
Yes.
Do people show up to learn Braille?
Funny you ask. So on Saturdays from 10:30 to 12:30, we have Braille study group in person, and patrons can come in. We have volunteers and staff that help them and assisting them learning Braille and various different levels. You know, if you're a beginner, we'll teach you how to use the alphabet. For more intermediate, like we teach them how to use contractions, maybe read a book. We have different learning levels for books when we give Braille, teach Braille. Sorry.
Why Saturday morning? That like interferes with our workout. Why can't you do it like later?
Because people like to come
or a different
mornings.
day, like
because people have work.
Because I might actually go to that. I mean, right? I lost my sight later in life. So I didn't learn Braille growing up through elementary school, middle school,
so
high school.
This is actually part of the reason we're doing it, because
right, but I can't go because and honestly I had zero interest because I'm like, why would I learn how to read Braille?
We do have it virtually as well on Tuesdays.
Yeah, okay, but I'm busy Tuesdays as well.
All right.
But point being, I didn't see the point, because if I needed to read a book, I could just listen to the audio, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't until about a little more than a year ago, I had a thing that I couldn't do with audio that I needed to do. And that was read off notes while I was presenting or speaking somewhere. That literally, like reading books, I can do it fast with audio, right? Yeah. I don't need Braille for that. I'm sure if I know, once I learn Braille, like it'll be great. I'll read some books. The real thing is standing at a podium or doing whatever, speaking to people. It's so hard to speak and listen to something in my headphone.
I know. Yeah.
Because then you're like you're inputting and outputting at the same time.
Yeah.
That's very difficult for me. Versus if I had Braille, like I could just write out some notes and just, even if it wasn't like a word for word speech that I was, reading off of Braille, even just having some bullet points. Like right now, if I'm speaking for anything longer than 15, 20 minutes, especially if I have to memorize names of people because I'm like giving awards or whatever, I'll still like Braille myself out a little bulleted list.
Yes.
But the speed at which I read that is so slow.
Right.
That I don't have the option to read word for word a speech if I wanted to.
Right.
And I think that honestly, that's the only reason why.
I would say the key thing for you is to practice every day.
It's so much easier to type Braille, right? Because the Braille screen input on iPhone.
Yeah.
I think having like a weekly meetup.
Oh, I'm sure that will help.
Be key.
Yeah.
Except I can't do it Saturdays because I'm at Achilles.
Yeah.
So we got to work on this timing.
Let me see what I can do.
Yeah. I recently had a volunteer who asked if it was possible to feel for a blind runner.
Yeah.
Feel what a race course feels like. And so we got into this whole discussion of tactile graphics. I'm like, Simon does this stuff at the Andrew Heiskell Library. Like, talk to him. Give me like a very basic overview of what is tactile graphics.
Yep.
Go from there. What's tactile graphics?
Yes. So as blind people, the access to images is very limited, right? So when people are sighted, since they're born and like growing up, they can see a cartoon on a screen and be like, oh, that's an apple, or that's a guy standing in the park, or whatever. They can quickly recognize images and interpret them, even in like line drawings and things like that. As people that are blind, we don't get access to that very often, especially at a young age. So we wouldn't know by looking at a line drawing whether something is an apple, a ball, or a knife, or whatever.
Two-dimensional
objects.
It's hard to.
Yes.
Yeah.
And especially me, like I remember growing up and they're like, well, this is a person's brain. I'm like, but a head's not a full circle. I'm so confused. What's going on?
Let's give the caveat that you unlike most people who are blind now, you never had sight.
No,
right? So you don't know what a car looks like or what a sidewalk or like.
Yeah.
You don't have those because you literally never. Okay.
Yeah. So when I got to the library, that I learned, a circle is a way to represent the head in 2 dimension. Now that is a line drawing that you feel. So that's what a tactile graphic is. It's line drawings or any drawings that you can feel as a blind person. And there you can do it 2D or you can do it 3D. We have 3D printing at the library that anyone can use just by appointment.
That's something else I got to look into.
Yeah. and then there are different types of ways to make tactile graphics. So
books in Braille, for those who don't know, are not punched out with like little, styluses, right? There's a slate and stylus, which is like the slowest way to do Braille, which is literally you're poking every single individual hole manually with this little punch thing.
Yes.
You have a Perkins Brailler, which looks like a old like heavy metal typewriter, and you're like chunk. You're like, dude, it's faster than a slate and stylus. I actually still have one. I actually have one here.
Yep.
But still like manual.
Yep.
And then beyond that, you have an embosser. An embosser is basically like a printer, like an ink printer, but instead of ink, it's, punching out these holes.
Yeah.
So you can do tactile graphics on an embosser.
Yes,
right?
There are embossers that do graphics.
Little different like software or whatever, but like it'll basically punch out your, whatever basic outline or drawing or whatever thing you have, right?
Yeah.
What other options are there in terms of making tactile graphics?
So, and by the way, that is best tactile graphic to use to make maps, because with maps, there are a lot of signs that you might want to use Braille for. And so as far as legibility and having lines, that is the best way.
What is the embosser?
The embosser.
Interesting. Okay. Because then you can label.
Yes.
Okay. You can label things in Braille dots.
Yes.
As well as draw lines and stuff. Okay, cool. What else?
So let me start from the very low to, I guess, more high end. The lowest way, so we actually are circulating, they're called sensational blackboards. And they're these rectangular boards that they're like rubbery boards that you'd put a piece of paper on it, and then you would draw with it. And when you draw, you apply some pressure, and you're able to then feel what you draw. It's a way for a sighted person to, when they're interacting with a blind person, if to draw something and have the blind person feel it, or it's a way for blind people to make their own drawings.
Like in real time, you could just basically just draw on this like iPad thing, but it's not electronic. It's like
it's manual. It's like a
manual, right?
Yeah.
But you can draw on it, and then you feel the lines that you draw.
Yes.
That's kind of cool. Okay.
Yeah. You should come sometime. And
come to the library. Yeah. All right.
I can show you.
Yeah.
And then there is swell form, which it's from thermoform. It's basically paper that is encapsulated with alcohol, and you put it through this heat lamp, and that heat lamp reacts with the alcohol, and it puffs up the image that is drawn on the paper, and you're able to feel it. And that's pretty cool because you can make different lines and dashes and other things that represent whether, if you're trying to represent water, you might use a certain thickness.
Right, or like textures. Okay.
Yeah. So that you can do, that's what a swell form machine is great for. The paper
is like a toaster oven.
Yeah.
You like slide your thing in a toaster oven. You cook it. Okay.
And it's, the paper is patented, so I think it's about $1.99 a page.
Yeah, that's pretty expensive.
It is pretty expensive. So
are those the two main kinds, or is there?
No, so there's also the embosser, as we mentioned.
Yeah,
and then there's thermoform. So thermoform, like say we made a map with the embosser, and then we wanted to make copies of it, like a plasticky kind of.
Is that like pee off?
No, so that's swell form.
Oh, okay. Because I remember when I was in school, I guess 10th grade in high school, I did geometry.
Yes.
Was that 10th grade? Might have been freshman year.
Yeah.
I might have been freshman, whatever. But I did geometry, and my geometry textbook came in like 65 volumes because the Braille was so much bigger than the print.
Yeah.
And so it was literally 65 volumes of P-off. Well, I guess my vision teacher called it P-off. Whatever.
Was it like those very loud, kind of like crinkly, like...
Yeah, very like wax paper almost.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know if you call it P-off. Actually, I should find that out.
I don't know.
I thought P-off was a swell form.
She was calling it P-off, but that doesn't mean it is.
But yeah, that's through thermoform.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, and it's cool because you can field diagrams. There was also Braille on it.
Yeah. So that's how to make
textbooks.
Copies.
Okay.
Yeah. So actually, in the 80s and stuff, before embossers, that's what people would do. They would basically take a Braille copy of something and just run it through the thermoform. And a thermoform machine is like this big oven kind of thing that you would heat up, and you would slide it in, you'd push down this lever, it like makes a sound, and then you'd lift up the lever and pull the plastic paper out, and there's your copy. You'd have to stand there doing it page by page by page for hours and hours.
That's awful.
Yes.
What's a piece of tech that you find really cool at the library? Like what's something that's just
3D printing.
Yeah.
I love the fact.
What's the coolest thing?
Mary Poppins umbrella.
What is it? Mary Poppins umbrella.
Yeah, you know that.
You didn't even have to think about that. You knew that. Like, that's funny. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I always found that very fascinating.
In the world, obviously, you can 3D print anything.
Yes,
but I'm saying specifically in the library.
Yeah.
Can I like come and 3D print anything, or is it like only a set? Like, how does that work?
When you say anything, what do you mean?
I don't know if I want to 3D print a parrot, a little banana, like whatever. Like I can.
Yeah, you can.
So what do I have to bring to you at the library in order for me to print?
A photo in all angles.
Like a CAD? Like, or do you like create the CAD based on the photo?
What do you mean?
You don't know. Is that a chancy question?
Yeah.
Okay, that's a chancy. Okay, all right. That's a chancy question. Maybe we'll have chancy on sometime. Okay, what's something working at the Andrew Heiskell Library that you didn't realize you would be doing?
I knew I'd have to do some form of administrative work, but I guess I didn't realize.
Like what? Just like calendars and stuff
like that?
Calendars
and just scheduling Zoom events. Running workshops. Like,
oh, that's cool. What kind of workshops have you run?
So I've done a cooking as a blind person workshop last year.
You did a cooking workshop? Really? I didn't know that.
I told you about it.
That's cool.
But
in one ear out the other. I don't know.
Yeah.
Did you actually cook something, or
no,
you just
no. We just talked about cooking, accessible tools to use while cooking.
Okay.
I hosted a Facebook workshop, basically how to use Facebook on your iPhone.
Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah. I mean, I guess people for whom assistive technology is brand new, would come to like a Facebook class, because like you and me know how to do Facebook,
right?
Okay, but it's like someone much more
brand
beginner.
New. Yeah.
Okay. Do you do these workshops on different apps?
Yeah.
Like, have you ever done like an Instagram workshop or a YouTube workshop?
Well, Facebook was our first social media. So the way this works is that every season, fall, winter, summer, spring, fall, winter. I said that out of order. Fall, winter, spring, summer.
Yeah.
We would have a meeting with me, Chancey, and a couple of other people, and we'd figure out which workshops we want to do next season. And then we schedule it out and we put it on the newsletter. We have a newsletter. You can find it at talkingbooks.nypl.org.
Say that slower so that people know.
That's talkingbooks.nypl.org.
Okay.
Yeah, you can find it in a newsletter. We have, and most of them are virtual. We do have in-person workshops as well.
I don't know. What are the likelihood there's like a YouTube workshop?
Well, I might actually suggest it next. We're in fall right now, so I'm sorry. Winter is the next one, so I'll suggest it.
What I mean, do you basically just pick workshops that you think people would be interested in?
Yeah, and then I pitch it out. I'm like, I think we should do this, and then if everyone agrees and they like it, they're like, sure, let's do it, and then I come up with the plan of what to cover, and I do the workshop. And it's a one day, like yes. a one off, and we don't record. What you know? What we don't record. Oh, you don't record the why? No, because it's the library policy. Okay. Yeah, I feel like if you recorded it, you could post it up and have it like in a library for people to like resource. Policy. Okay. Yeah. Well, what's a fun in-person workshop that you've done? Non-visual drawing. What's that? Remember I mentioned the sensational blackboards. So, they teach you how to draw with emotion, how to use different like touch and line patterns to express what it is you're trying to express. Can people just show up at the library, or do you have to make an appointment? So, and wait, sorry, there's one more workshop, descriptive. Yeah, descriptive origami.
There was an origami workshop.
Yeah,
That's fun.
Chanty does a lot of those.
What's descriptive origami?
Like she'll describe exactly.
Oh, each fold.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me know when that happens again.
I'll let you know.
Okay.
If you come.
Yeah. Can people just show up?
Yeah.
Or you have to make an appointment?
Well, if you want help with technology, you have to make an appointment. If you want to do any 3D printing, you have to make an appointment. If you want to use any of the labs that we have to either type or use our tactile graphics, yes, you have to make an appointment.
So what can you do if you just walk in?
You can check out our books, which
it's a library. I guess there's books, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Plug. I'm going to do a little plug since we mentioned FMDG. We partnered with them because they had a whole collection of Braille music books, and they partnered with the Andrew Heiskell Library, and all their collection is on the second floor, all the way in the back.
All like Braille music.
All scores.
That's pretty cool.
A couple of thousands of Braille music scores that we have. We have anything ranging from piano, guitar, vocal, miscellaneous like history books, and learning about Braille music. So check it out if you ever come.
And then people can like check it out just like a normal library book.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And also another promotion, we talked about Braille earlier, and I just want to mention that we're giving out free Braille displays.
Right, through the NLS. Right?
NLS.
Okay.
And we have these ZoomX e-readers. On these Braille displays, you can go on to two things. You can go on to Bard, which is our online catalog. It's kind of like Audible, but it's through the National Library Service for the Blind. Patrons that are registered with Andrew Heiskell can get access to Bard and download books to read on those displays. They can read it in Braille. It is only Braille. They don't have audio, so you can't.
The display, display itself does not have audio. Yeah.
So
has the Bard app gotten any better, by the way? I feel like it was cool. I used it a lot in high school and college, and it was great because you get access to a whole ton of free audiobooks. Yeah. A lot of them were actually the commercial version. You know, there were a few like...
They have a lot more of that now. Like right now you can get Anita Blake in commercial version there too.
But the searching and the browsing functions were like not the best. Has that changed at all, or is it still kind of... Because it used to be that like you had to go in knowing what you wanted.
Yeah.
And so what I would do is browse like Goodreads or something.
They have a most popular, recently downloaded, recently added. I have to check if they have the browse genre, but I don't remember.
Got it. Okay. But so you're saying anyone in New York State specifically,
yes,
New York City, New York State,
in New York State can get those devices, like from their prospective library.
Right.
Yeah.
For people who do not live in New York State, what Andrew Heiskell services do they have access to?
We can help them virtually with assistive technology.
Can you do one-on-one coaching?
Yeah, that's what we do.
With patrons?
Yeah.
Virtually?
Yeah.
On Zoom or something?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay, so even if someone lives in Idaho or whatever, they can...
Yeah, we can't get books out. And let me just be clear, when I say New York State, we can't send out books to everyone in Andrew Heiskell. So in New York State, we only work with people who live in the 5 boroughs of New York City and Suffolk County.
So it's basically New York City.
Island. Yeah.
Okay. But again, if you're blind, you live in Idaho or something, you can attend the virtual workshops.
Yes, anyone can attend the workshops.
Right, and you can do the Zoom.
Yes.
Like call you up and be like, I need help to use my iPhone.
Yes.
Do you get more virtual patrons than in person, or do you
mostly in person?
Why do you think that is?
Well, because when you're teaching someone how to use VoiceOver, especially for a first time, it's better that they come in person so that you can hear and feel and see what they're doing. And it's easier to explain and describe to them exactly how to do it. And if you need to, fiddle around with their phone and see what's going on and help them in any way, you can do that, which you can't really do if, virtually. But
you would think that there's like a big need in the country outside of New York City.
Oh, I'm sure.
For people to learn how to use technology, like blind individual. Why don't you think there are more Zoom lessons with those people? They just can't access Zoom in order to book those lessons, or just lack of awareness?
I think it's both. It's both. Yeah. I think lack of awareness, and I think because there have been patrons that I've taught who are like, "Oh my gosh, this may change my life. I did not know I can do this." And it's quite rewarding when you can when people think, oh my God, like my life is over. I can't use anything. I can't do this. And when you teach them that, no, there's just definitely possibilities. Like the other day, I kind of had that experience where this person's like, oh my God, I want to cry. Thank you so much. So,
yeah, I guess that is like, why do you do assistive technology? Like, why are you there now?
I'm there because it's very rewarding to teach people and to be able to kind of change their perspective on what a blind person can do. It's just very good to help people, because I remember that there was a time in my life where I needed a lot of help. And so it's kind of my way of giving back and, doing good.
It's funny because you're saying it helps them see what a blind person is capable of. Oftentimes when I hear that phrase, we're talking about ourselves, as in, I'm going to shoot this video of me jumping off this mountain with skis on to show what blind people are capable of.
Yeah.
Me talking about myself.
Right.
It's less common, but I think more powerful when you're talking about others, saying you're showing other blind people what they themselves are capable of.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. Okay.
Yeah. So
fulfilling.
Fulfilling, definitely.
It's cool. I mean,
it's kind of like you
see yourself in them.
Yeah.
Right? Because there was a time when I remember you were not the best. I mean, none of us.
Right.
I remember trying to like learn voiceover scrappy because
I know
friends were texting me and I couldn't text them back.
I know.
So
me
I was
too.
like,
I had trouble with the swiping or
or
even the rotor.
Yeah.
So and
cool.
I learned Windows when I was in high school.
What do you think will be the biggest or a big thing in assistive technology in the next, say, like 2 years?
Oh, that's a very good question. AI.
Yeah.
Yeah. AI has changed a lot in how blind people do things. For example, Be My Eyes. You've seen me use that before, where you take a picture and it describes exactly, what the picture is. Like, let's say the picture is a person standing to the left. He's wearing a white shirt. It's a man with like facial stubble wearing a white shirt. Yeah. Like it'll have all this description. The thing that we are trying to do now as assistive technology instructors is to figure out how to best teach AI and how to guide people on the fact, that yes, we're teaching it to use it as a tool, but we're teaching it to also be careful because AI is not always 100% accurate. So, how do you use it responsibly? How do you, make sure that you're not being led astray and all that?
I messed around a little bit with ChatGPT. And I'm so annoyed because the Mac desktop application has bugged out, or like an update came out and is not super accessible anymore.
Yeah.
And it's just so annoying because like you get used to using some sort of tool, whether it's ChatGPT or you use, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And an update comes out and all of a sudden you can't use it anymore because it's not accessible because it's not labeled or this, that,
Right.
Okay. So you're saying the biggest thing for assistive tech will be AI in the next couple of years. I mean, you could probably say the same for most industries, right? Like, I think AI is, especially agent AI, I think is going to be.
I think so too.
Very huge and very helpful. I mean, people talk a lot about the negative sides of AI, but it has helped so many people do so many cool things, so many life-changing things, even already.
I know.
Forget about what's going to happen next couple of years.
I know, especially with the whole Apple and Apple Intelligence.
Yeah, I'm curious. Yeah, exactly. Because I mean,
I know
having ChatGPT is cool because you can input whatever you want into it, right? And it'll take it and run with it. Our whole life is basically on Apple already.
I know.
So for it to then take all of the stuff that it already has,
I know,
and make it itself more useful or whatever it is.
Yeah,
I think that'll be interesting.
That's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see what problems people are going to run into.
Is there anything that you would like to do in terms of assistive tech in the next, I guess, year? Anything you're excited about besides AI?
I'm excited to learn about some new products.
Like what?
Especially like the stuff we checked out at the National Federation convention. Glidance. Did you check that out?
Yeah. It looks like a vacuum cleaner that you push in front of you, but it has like.
It has like a GPS that guides you.
Yeah, cameras and LiDAR, I think. Okay. Yeah,
and then like the Meta glasses.
Yeah, the smart glasses are cool because then there's like hands-free. I so the Glidance thing, which is basically, again, it's like a vacuum cleaner. You push it out in front of you, and it has cameras and it kind of guides you right, left, things like that. I'm not. I mean, I'm sure it'll be super cool walking with it.
Mm-hmm.
I would love it if I could run with it.
Oh my God.
Because then you could just run. Like when, you know, you don't need to coordinate with people and all that. You just run.
Yeah.
That'd be cool. They said the max speed currently is 6 miles an hour.
Oh.
I think maybe it was less than that. I feel like maybe it was like a 10-minute pace, 12-minute, whatever. So like you could still sort of run with it.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
It'd be awesome if you can like make a little harness thing to like put it around your waist and just run with it and just do loops.
Yeah, but like think about like if someone is coming towards you or a bike is coming towards you and like someone needs to like quickly pull you away. I feel like in a way sometimes humans still might have quicker reflexes than the
of course it's going to be quicker, and especially running in like a crowded super pop, you know.
Yes.
But I'm talking like cuz like in a hypothetical world, if I had this, you know, autonomous running like machine thing,
if you're like out in the
I'd go running at like 6 a.m. in Central Park when it's like no one's out except for other runners.
Yeah,
you do your thing.
I feel like a lot of bikers are out.
Just go on Wednesdays and Fridays. Tuesdays and Thursdays are like the big cycling days, you know?
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, but you know, there are times of the park when you don't have a ton of dogs off leash. You know, I think it'd be cool to have the option.
Okay.
And obviously there are plenty of people who don't live in Manhattan and in New York City who could, you know, run down their cul-de-sac or whatever. And I think that would be cool. But again, that use of AI, I wonder how the connectivity works with that in terms of GPS and if it's a cellular connection or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I recently got Starlink, which I'm very curious about because, I got the Starlink Mini, the small one, and it's basically the size of an iPad. And you put that iPad on a table next to you or on the hood of your car, anywhere, and wherever you are, you get high-speed internet service.
That sounds pretty cool.
That I'm super excited about.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. What do people not know about the library that you want them to know?
That's a good question. I think we covered a lot.
They could literally call up the library and talk to you.
Yes, they can.
Do you know the library phone number off the top of your head?
I can yes.
Go for it.
212-206-5400, extension 3 for the technology department.
And they will talk to either you or
Chansey or Dario.
All right. So if you're blind or low vision and you need help with assistive tech, whether it's, you know, using your iPhone or learning how to use your laptop, Google Workspace, tactile graphics, 3D printing, any of that stuff, you call up Simon at the library.
You can also, I have a work number. You can reach me directly at 646-980-0622. You can also email me at Simon Isakov, SIMONISAKOV @nypl.org.
Right on, man. Yeah. All right. Well, good chatting with you. First episode that you were on with video.
I know.
Hopefully it's coming out all right.
Hopefully.
And we'll catch you all on the next one. See you later.
See ya.